In the spring of 1861, a sturdy schooner named Amazon slipped quietly into the Atlantic waves off the coast of Nova Scotia. 8 years later, she was reborn as the Mary Celeste, a sleek brigantine destined for fame or infamy. By late 1872, she measured just over 100 feet in length, rigged for speed and laden with barrels of valuable cargo. At her helm stood Captain Benjamin S. Briggs, a 37-year-old veteran of countless transatlantic voyages. Alongside him sailed his devoted wife, Sarah, and their bright-eyed toddler daughter, Sophia Matilda. Under Briggs's calm leadership, the Mary Celeste had earned a reputation for punctual crossings and seaworthiness, the likes of which many rival captains envied. On a crisp November morning in 1872, the Mary Celeste cast off from New York Harbor, bound for Genoa, Italy. Below decks lay 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol, tightly sealed and stowed to maintain the ship's balance. The weather reports promised fair winds, and the manifest showed every barrel accounted for. For the next 18 days, the captain's log recorded routine entries, bearings, wind direction, and the ship's steady progress southeast across the Atlantic. Yet, on November 25th, somewhere north of the small Portuguese island of Santa Maria, the log's final notation hinted at trouble, a shift in course to seek calmer waters after heavy rolling and spray had soaked the decks. Beyond that point, silence. On December the 5th, 2 weeks after departure, the Canadian brigantine Dei Gratia, under Captain David Morehouse, came upon a lone vessel drifting aimlessly some 400 miles east of the Azores. As dawn's first light revealed her identity, Morehouse's crew lowered a small boat and climbed aboard. There, they found the Mary Celeste under full sail, moving gently through a glassy sea, yet no one steered her. The decks lay deserted. The single lifeboat was gone. Hatches remained tightly secured, personal belongings and navigational instruments sat undisturbed, and the life-preserving rations below decks still brimmed almost untouched. Only the captain's log lay open at the entry for November 25th, and the ship's chronometer lay still, an eerie, frozen snapshot of the moment before the crew vanished. A careful inspection revealed a seaworthy hull and serviceable rigging. The pumps had drawn up only a few inches of water, far too little to force an abandonment, yet 9 barrels of alcohol were missing from the hold, suggesting they had been uncovered or cast away in desperation. A single shoe, polished and unpaired, lay on the deck beside an overturned jug, but no signs of struggle, blood, or violence. No torn clothing or broken locks. It was as if everyone had stepped into that missing lifeboat willingly, expecting to return. But for reasons unknown, they never did. When the Mary Celeste was towed into Gibraltar, the Vice Admiralty Court convened to adjudicate salvage claims. Maritime law awarded Captain Morehouse a substantial portion of the ship and cargo's value, but he faced fierce accusations of opportunism. Newspapers in London and New York eagerly seized upon the controversy, dubbing the vessel a true ghost ship and speculating wildly about the fate of her complement. Meanwhile, the Briggs family waited in vain for word, their hopes fading with each passing week. One prevailing theory suggests that a sudden waterspout, a tornado over water, may have struck near Santa Maria, flinging seawater into the hold. Convinced the brigantine was doomed to sink, the crew might have hastily launched the lifeboat, only to be swallowed by the merciless Atlantic. Another idea holds that microscopic leaks in the alcohol barrels released volatile fumes below decks. A spark, perhaps from a lantern or friction, could have ignited a minor explosion, terrifying the crew into believing the ship was aflame. In their terror, they might have abandoned ship even though the damage was superficial. Speculation of foul play emerged almost immediately. Some accused the crew of mutiny or pirates of boarding under cover of darkness. Yet the intact valuables, unmarred personal effects, and orderly condition of the ship argue against robbery or violence. If such visitors arrived, they left without touching a single trinket. Geologists have proposed a submarine earthquake beneath the ocean floor, creating shockwaves that rocked the Mary Celeste violently. Fearing hull breach, the captain and crew may have abandoned her, only to discover in daylight that she floated soundly. A more dramatic suggestion holds that Captain Briggs, under financial strain or personal distress, orchestrated a vanishing act. But evidence of his steadfast character, the absence of fraud in his records, and the lack of any plan or destination make this theory implausible. Though each hypothesis captures some elements of the mystery, none explains the full array of facts. This enduring ambiguity cements the Mary Celeste's place in maritime lore. Beyond legal wrangling and sensational headlines lay a deeper tragedy: the complete loss of 11 souls. Captain Briggs's widow and daughter sought consolation in empty bedrooms, and the families of the 7 crewmen were left with only rumors and newspaper clippings. Rescue parties scoured the Azorean Islands and Atlantic shipping lanes for traces of the lifeboat or makeshift rafts, but no debris or bodies ever surfaced. In the century and a half since her discovery, the Mary Celeste has transcended her wooden timbers and iron fittings to become an emblem of the sea's inscrutable power. Authors and playwrights reimagined her story in novels and stage dramas. Early filmmakers captured silent newsreel footage of her hulk. Radio shows retold her saga in breathless monologues. Modern documentarians deploy underwater drones to inspect shipwrecks once thought related. Even today, maritime museums display artifacts such as a child's rosette from Sophia's frock, reminding us that real lives underpin this most haunting of tales. Scholars dive into archives, unearthing cargo manifests, crew rosters, and letters home. Treasure hunters comb the Azores' rocky inlets for the missing lifeboat. Atmospheric scientists sift meteorological records, hoping to reconstruct the exact weather events of late November 1872. Each new piece of evidence is weighed against the old, yet the enigma only deepens. For every question answered, 2 more emerge. The Mary Celeste invites us to confront our assumptions about certainty and survival. On her silent decks, the sea's vastness swallowed 11 hearts without a single distress call. Her empty cabins stand as a testament to human fallibility in the face of nature's might. As we gaze upon modern GPS readings and satellite communications, it is humbling to recall an age when a ship could simply vanish, leaving behind no trace but an open logbook and a hushed Atlantic breeze. The Mary Celeste reminds us that some mysteries resist closure, beckoning us always to peer beyond the horizon with fresh wonder and cautious respect for the immutable sea. Hit subscribe, ring the bell, and leave a comment telling us which mystery you want unraveled next. Your curiosity powers our exploration. Join us on this voyage through time.